FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
But my daughter, Jessica, works for nonprofits. She always has. She doesn't make a lot of money, and she counts pennies. So this was not a light decision for her. And she called me, and before her baby was born, Grant, my grandson, and said, "Yeah, I found a $200 crib that's made in China, probably sweatshops, or a $600 one that's made in Canada with certified plantation trees. You know, which one do you think I should buy?" And before I answered, she said, "Of course, I'm going to buy the $600 one because it's an investment in my son's future. I would pay $400 for a car seat to save his life. I would pay $400 for a better daycare where I knew he was going to be watched carefully and taken care of. So I'm certainly willing to pay $400 not to have slaves making his crib who are future terrorists and starving people in the world. I want to create a better world for him." And I think that's a very, very important way for all of us to look at this world that we're in now, that we've got to make these investments. We have to, sometimes it costs a little bit more to make these investments, but they are investments. And all of this is an investment in the future. The time we put into sitting here together and discussing these things, the time we put into taking action, to moving into this new economy is a terribly, probably the most important investment perhaps humanity has ever made. I think we're at this time in history that's truly revolutionary and truly, truly significant. You know, Jonathan, I'm struck by the fact that for the first time in human history, every one of us, every human being on this planet, every life form is faced by the same crises. You've always had earthquakes here, hurricanes in Florida, tsunamis in Indonesia. They don't really impact each other that much. But today, every one of us is impacted by the crises of global warming and overpopulation, resources diminishing at accelerating rates, prices of food, fuel, and other essentials increasing at accelerating rates, violence that's due to desperation and starvation. We're all confronting these things. And for the first time in human history, in just the last few years, we've all started communicating with each other. We're all talking by cell phone and the internet. Just a few years ago, you go deep into the Amazon, high into the Himalayas, they had no hope of ever having a telephone because you couldn't put wires in those places. But then suddenly, everybody today has cell phones. I was just deep in the Amazon and high in the Himalayas within the last few years. They've got cell phones, internet. We're all talking. This is revolutionary. We're all facing the same crises, and we're all talking about it. And so we really are one community, even though to a certain degree we haven't really come to grips with that yet. But it's truly the case. We're terribly interrelated. And that's why I say, you know, and Jessica recognizes that if people in China are in sweatshops making cribs for her child, and she's buying them and supporting that, she's supporting a very dangerous future. On the other hand, if she supports people that are paid well in trees on plantations, she's creating a better future.